If y'all had never seen a Cleco before, this is a Cleco. What it's made to do is you put in these pliers, you mash it, you stick it in like a pot rivet hole, 3/16, and when you let off, it holds it in place like a pot rivet, but you can take it out. They're reusable. And I'm still learning. This thing don't cut like my old one I used to have for some reason. I don't know what the deal is with it, but anyway, here's all of our stuff. This is our disconnect, that's our fuel filter, that's the switch panel, that's the new shifter, that's the new quick car extreme gauge panel. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Well, I have done a little bit since the last video y'all seen. I came up here yesterday and y'all see we have a shelf here. This shelf was just all the shelves is rotted out of it, so I come up here yesterday and was cutting some plywood and stuff, putting in the shelves to have somewhere to put our parts because they've just been scattered everywhere, and I still have a whole box of little parts there. But while I was up here, I started cutting the very first board and my skill saw died. So I had to wait, let my battery charge, because it's a DeWalt skill saw and I only have one battery for it. So while it was charging, I did do a few things. I've got this piece of sheet metal here cut, and we're fixing to do another one to go across here, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. I did go ahead and run the other brake lines, both front brake lines, got them complete. And see here, got the brake valve. I hope I got that brake valve in a good spot. I can't have the three-way brake valve or the three-wheel brake valve within driver's reach. So this is where the line ended, so I just put it here and I built a little short line to go down to there. Now, I had a comment in one of the, about 2 videos back, and a gentleman said he suggested replacing the bars in the hoop. And I'm assuming he was talking about these here. And I was just going to go over, because I don't know, during the time when I was replacing bars and I was had another chassis builder that replaced and added some bars for me. I replaced, I think, everything that was bent. But I thought I'd give y'all a quick rundown as to everything that we've done. So I built and added these T-bars, which y'all have seen that in the video. I done that one, I done this one. I added this bar on both sides. I added this bar on both sides. I added this bar and this bar. And then of course I added this. Y'all see me add this in a video. And then I replaced this bar here that was bent. Now, and I added all of these was added by me. Every one of them you see around here. Now, I had a guy over in West Monroe by the name of Ken Hollingsworth that he used to have Raptor race cars. And I took it to him and he removed and replaced these bars. Now, we did not do here. It was going to be so much cutting. I figured by what we added here and him doing this, I think everything is going to be fine. And then he added me a third door bar. And then he put this bar here in on both sides, which really strengthened things up. And then he added this bar here, which really strengthened things up. And then he added a piece of plate underneath the seat where we thought the seat was going to mount, which I don't know that we're going to exactly be able to use it now. So just wanted to point some of that out. Because I know I didn't show all of that as it was going, because some of that stuff, man, some of this stuff is kind of like the brake line. The video that y'all seen that came out actually today, which would have been June, I think June 20th video. But it's so hard for me because I had one comment, man, I wish your videos was longer. Man, I'm a detail guy when watching videos. I like to see the detail, but when you get to YouTube, a lot of people don't like the details. If you don't get right to the point and steady be action, 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 people don't watch your stuff. And so I've got to kind of pick it in, So, but anyway, that being said, I don't want to get to rambling, because you get to rambling and that causes people to not want to watch your video. So, and I'm wanting to carry y'all along all the way for this. So I am going tomorrow to get this piece here powder coated, this piece here, or drop it off, the piece that we're fixing to build up here, and I'll explain more about that, the spindle to go on the right front, and I gotta remember, I think that was something else. I still got to take the rear end to get it powder coated, but I've got to get these brake brackets replaced. But right now, let's go ahead and get the piece of sheet metal. We've got to cut this, we're going to cut this piece off. Because the problem is, once I got it all built and put in, for some reason it ended up being higher than this. And I had to show y'all how we're going to build, or try to build this. I've never built it before, what we're going to try. But anyway, let's get this. Well, I'll get the other piece built. It's going to go in here, and then we'll take this out, cut it, bend it. Anyway, y'all will see. All right, and we have another old piece of sheet metal here. And the reason, this is a brand new piece of sheet metal, but this is something I used, well, had to have been probably 13 years ago, 12, 13 years ago. So I measured, what did I say it was, 34? Yeah, 34 by 8 is what I have to, I hope I can get that out of this. Ooh, it's gonna be close. But what I was saying is, it don't matter what the sheet metal looks like, because he's going to sandblast it and powder coat it. Ooh. See what we're going to do. We're going to do it 7 3/4 to make it work out where I'll have a straight piece to work with. Well, you know what? No. Yep, you're going to have to, because it'll be right there. 7 3/4 is going to be right on the edge there. Okay. Now I just got to remember that. Y'all remind me of that. We start breaking in a minute. Don't let me mess this piece up. I think this is the last piece of new old that I've got. And I'm still learning. This thing don't cut like my old one I used to have for some reason. I don't know what the deal is with it, but anyway. It's like this one's tighter. I've tried to read the instructions and open it up, but heck, oh, it's trying to run off. I'll be back in full form time I get through. This is crooked, but it don't matter where it's going. Trust me. Now, next thing I got to do, if it don't come off real easy, I'll have to cut the camera off. But the powder coat guy told me today, Mr. Greg did, he said, don't do me like you did last time. He said, last time you left that plastic on there, he said, and I had heck. Something about it went to melting on him or something. But anyway, I told him, I said, well, I didn't realize it would make a difference, so I'm gonna take care of him. And, you know, it's pretty cool. I had a gentleman today stop by here. He'd been seeing me out here. I'm right on a main highway. And if y'all are wondering where I'm at, I'm in Baskin, Louisiana. If any of y'all want to look that up on the map. But Anyway, guy come back and he like, man, I've been seeing this up in here and I didn't know what you had going on in here. So he just got curious and had to stop. And it's cool because after we talked for a while, I told him, yes, I've started a YouTube channel to kind of document what I'm doing and show people and whatever. And anyway, picked up a subscriber. So it's pretty cool. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a 1/2 inch double and then do an inch lip. So we're gonna do right now a 1/2 inch. Okay, so it's going to be the 1/2 inch. Then after I do that, I'll figure what I've got to cut out for this. So let me go and break this a 1/2 inch. Okay. Oh. I about dumped y'all over. Yeah, my old sheet metal brake, like I said, it don't make the tightest of bends sometimes. You got to kind of work with her. But it does the job, as y'all can see. All right. So there's that. So what I got to do, come down 1 inch. Go ahead and I just got to give myself enough room here to be able to break this, go on and make my 90 and then put a bend in this here too is what I have to do. So that's all I'm trying to figure. So if I do this here, so I come from here and then here. Okay. That needs to be more. All right, let me see if I can get this whittled out of here right quick. Where are my cutters? Now if this don't work, I'm gonna be mad at myself. Oof, that like to been bad in itself right there. Now you won't see this, so that's why I'm not worried about it being little. So let me get me a hammer and I'll flatten this out. It's going to be powder coated too, so that's why I'm not taking a ton of time with it. I'm not worried about these little marks in it neither, because like I said, it's going to be powder coated. Okay, so now we're going to go make our 1 inch bend here, and then we got to measure, we got to cut out for some pipes. Yeah. Okay, that should be really, really close. All right, I gotta get my Clecos out. If y'all had never seen a Cleco before, this is a Cleco. What it's made to do is you put it in these pliers, you mash it, you stick it in like a pot rivet hole, 3/16, and when you let off, it holds it in place like a pot rivet, but you can take it out. They're reusable. All right, y'all can see here, you watch. I get this, put it on here, like this, pull it, and there it is. Let's do this last one, right here. Get on there and do it. Put up. So what we got to do, because this is too tall, it's going to be a dual purpose thing. So I'm going to cut this off right here. And then what that's going to allow me to do, when I put this piece back in, I'll be able to lower my lip to get under where I need to be. And it'll allow me to fill this gap up so it won't be as big of a gap when people look in there. But ain't nobody going to see it, but I'll know it's there. That is some thick, thick sheet metal right there. All right, so now let me stick this back in and we can look at it. Got my nose itching. Okay, now we're going to trim her up here. Like that. Okay. We're getting somewhere. The way we're going to do this, we're going to cut some holes here in the corners. All right, we're going to try to do the same things here. We're going to cut up here. Now I don't know if I can get these in here. I put a battery. I got plenty of batteries. I don't know why I don't go and just get another battery. I guess that'd be too simple. All right. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this in behind here. Maybe like this. No. I meant to stick this piece in first and then put the other piece in. Now, the next thing, let's just see if we can do it with this piece of sheet metal right here. No, well, I might can. So, I'm gonna need this to be here. See if I can get something to clamp at. We won't be able to bring this up to right underneath there. Okay, so all that is going to look wonderful. Now, I guess the next thing is I need to get some holes drilled in it. Yeah, let me get some holes drilled in. I can put a Cleco in right here. It'll help squeeze it in tight, because I was hoping that hole would have hit, but it didn't hit right. Okay. Oh, crud. All right, there's the first hole drilled. Not saying there's no coming back at this point, but it's a little bit more difficult now. Let's get a Cleco in it. All right, let's look one more time. That's all got to be bent back around, but that's even with that, so that's good. That's good. That should have, actually it don't have an upward, it's got a downward slope. Nothing I can do about that though. All right, guys. Well, that is a done deal. I think it looks good. I think it's all going to look real good once it's all in. We get the gauges in. I have, here's all of our stuff. This is our disconnect. That's our fuel filter. That's the switch panel. That's the new shifter. That's the new quick car extreme gauge panel. You know, it's got my other shocks, my throttle pedal, brake pedals, brake adjusters, all that. Which matters. Hey, I know it's going to be a little bit. I hadn't even tried to sell them, but I'm going to sell this gauge panel. It's a water temp gauge, a oil pressure gauge, and a tack with the warning lights. But I was going to use them, and when I got down, I've had to replace pretty much this car is going to be brand new, which is going to slow me down on getting it out in time, because it's costing a lot more than what I was planning on. But anyway, I said, what is the use in putting everything on this car brand spanking new and then putting used gauges back in it? I said, that's crazy. So we decided to put new gauges in. Still don't have a tack. I haven't bought a tack. Tack will be right toward the very end. Like I told y'all in the last video, I am done spending for a while. We're gonna put the stuff on that we have, and when all that stuff's done, there might be a small break in there. There won't be a break in content for y'all, but there may be a small break for me, because it's I got to replenish a little bit. So, but when it's all said and done, it's going to be a really nice car. We're going to run in the next video. We'll be running the wires for the battery. We will be probably getting the accelerator pedal put in. We'll be getting all this in permanent. Then after I get this piece back from powder coat, we're gonna go in and build all of this. So don't know how much we'll get done in the next video. We'll get the rest of the front end put together, get the right front shock put on, spindle. So hopefully after this video here, there will start being some huge progressions, because once I get some of this tedious stuff, you know, like this is going to be kind of aggravating for me to build, and getting this piece put in here, you know, that stuff is going to be just a little tedious. But hopefully, man, after that, this thing starts flying together. But like I said, I try to slow down. Oh, I ain't gonna say slow down, but I try not to get tons and tons of content. Like tonight, I know it was all about me getting the stuff ready to go to powder coat. I got my fuel line. I say my fuel line. This is my pipe that's got to run through the cab. Our rules are you've got to have a pipe running through the cab for your fuel line to run through. So that's the pipe. I got its take to powder coat. I think that was the other thing I was thinking about earlier. We've got it, we got the other spindle, we got those two pieces of sheet metal there. And I don't even remember now. There was something else I said earlier. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, once we get all that back, we're going to be able to really start going together. And like I said, I'm going to show y'all every bit of it along the way. I hope y'all are enjoying the videos. I'm trying to be as open as I can. Of course, there's things I'm doing, maybe some spring rates and some of that stuff I'm putting on the car that I'm not just exactly sharing out. But I'm trying to show y'all and be as open with this build as possible. So like I said, I don't know a lot about these stock chassis and stuff, so I'm learning too. But anyway, hey, if you hadn't already, y'all hit the subscribe button, give me some likes and comments and all those good things, guys. And I really, once again, I really enjoy the comments. So anyway, appreciate y'all. See you.